Howdy folks, Greyhawk 4x4 coming at you again, your resident vintage gamer, and today we're going to talk about day 2 of E3. I was going to do this video last night, but things went a little long with that PC Gamer show. It went at about 2.5 hours, and I was just too tired by the end of it to do a video. I'd worked a full day at my day job, and then it was almost 10 o'clock at night, and I get up very early for my day job the right next morning, so I said I will just do it tomorrow. So here it is. So to start off with, there was a couple of things before that PC Gamer show. This video is going to be very heavy on the PC gaming platform because they had the PC Gamer show the first time they've had a dedicated kind of a news conference show type of a deal at E3 specifically for the PC gaming platform. So, and I am predominantly a PC gamer, so that's what this is mainly going to be about. However, there were some other things that I did see from earlier on the day yesterday that really caught my eye. Number one was the Hololens technology that was showcased for the Xbox One platform by Microsoft. If you did not see that press conference, I'm going to put a link below. You need to go see it if you have not seen it. Basically, if you don't know what it's about, like I didn't know until yesterday, the HoloLens basically is a device that you wear, and it allows you to see whatever it is that, like they showed Minecraft, and you can see it anywhere you want to, like on a table. So it's like 3D on the table, and you can manipulate it on the table. Seriously, it's like you gotta watch. If you have not seen it, you have got to go see. Follow the link now. Stop my video. Go see it, because I can't do it justice trying to describe it. I had no idea that this technology was even on the forefront. I don't know how I missed it, but I did. All I know is that I'm thinking about how can I incorporate that over there. HoloLens technology over there. I could see it being used in even tabletop gaming, like Dungeons and Dragons, where you could do a 3D model of your dungeon that you're showing people. And as long as they're all wearing the HoloLens, they can actually see it in 3D. Holy shitballs. The possibilities are endless. So, anyway, I can't do it justice. Go check it out. Trust me, it's freaking amazing. And maybe, hopefully, before too long, it'll be more than just Minecraft. It'll be used for other things. So that was number one. That really blew my mind. Other things that I noticed before the PC gaming show came on. Tom Clancy's The Division. I've been following that for a while. It was actually at the last E3 they talked about it, and it still isn't done. But they showed more gameplay and so forth. It looks really, really good. I'm just hoping that it's not going to become vaporware. I'm hoping it's actually going to hit the shelves at some point. Well, hit the shelves. They don't even put games on the shelves anymore. Greyhawk, you download them. Listen to me talking like an old guy. So, yes, for it to hit Steam, I should have said, instead of the shelves. The other thing was the Uncharted. I think it's Uncharted 4 for PS4. And that's one of the few console titles that I have played, the Uncharted series. I love the Uncharted series. It's basically Indiana Jones to me. So, if I do buy a future console and I do get a PS4, I will definitely that'll be the game that I'll be trying out first. Then Arkham Knight. This is before the PC gaming show even started. So they showed Arkham Knight. Well, they showed a trailer for it. Again, it looks amazing like the rest of the Arkham series has been. With the exception of they had Jonathan Banks as Commissioner Gordon doing the voiceover work. And for those that may not recognize the name Jonathan Banks, you would know him as Mike from Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. That and one and only Mike. If you haven't seen Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul, I'll just say I feel sorry for you. I'll just leave it at that. But those of you who now know who I'm talking about, yes, Mike in that voice as Commissioner Gordon. Can't get much better. So then, on to the PC gaming show that was on last night. The very first one, they had a bunch of different developers come on. They did a lot of gameplay. They actually had a PC set up on the stage, and they did some demo with that. Starting off with Tripwire was the developer, the first one that came out. And they showed Killing Floor 2, and I was never a fan of the first Killing Floor. I have it. It's okay. It's not, other people love it, and that's fantastic. It's not my thing. Don't ask me why. I love Doom. I love Quake. I love all those series, but for some reason Killing Floor didn't do it for me. So the second one looks to me like more of the same. So if you like that, except it's got looks like it's got a lot better graphics and a lot more gore and all that stuff, you're going to love it. So it's just not my thing. Then they showed what they had not previously announced. They announced it right then. Rising Sun 2 Vietnam. Again, I have the first Rising Sun, and it was okay. I played it a few times. I don't know if I'll ever play it again. It was all right. And the graphics for this one did not impress me very much more. So maybe you're different. Maybe that's your thing. Maybe I'm not seeing something some game features that the game has that I don't know about. For me, those two from Tripwire didn't do much for me. Then the next thing was Deus Ex, the next in the series, and I believe it's called Mankind Divided is the next title. And I've been a big fan of the Deus Ex franchise from the beginning. The very first one was one of those titles where I started playing it. A buddy of mine, one of my buddies, we call him Big John. He's a big giant guy. He was the one who tipped me off, and he's tipped me off to a lot of games in the past. So I got to give him credit for that. And he said, "Hey, you got to check out this game, Deus Ex." And he called it Dos Ex, and I think I did too. We didn't know how to say it at first, but it's Deus Ex. And it was one of those where I bought it, loaded it up, and I played it straight through. I could not stop. I had to finish it, and I did. And I think a lot of people did, and that's why the series has been, so good. So the next one, they showed some gameplay, and it looks really good too. So looking forward to that one. Then they actually brought out the guy from Xbox One, the head guy, and everybody's saying, what is he doing on the PC gaming show? And I said the same thing. But what has become apparent, and he made it very clear, Windows 10 and Xbox One basically share the same architecture. So what that means is when they're developing a game for Xbox One or PC, they're essentially developing it for the other platform at the same time. From a cost standpoint for them, that makes a lot of sense. So they talked about some other titles, but they said that their big announcement was Gears of War is going to be coming out for Windows 10. So what they're basically doing is they're making it so us PC gamers are going to have to get Windows 10. At some point, everything is going to, you got DX12, and all the developers are going to be making games, and you're going to have Windows 10. Now, having said that, apparently right now it's free, because I got a thing down in my taskbar telling me I can upgrade to Windows 10 for free right now. So, and I have heard that is the absolute truth. You can just upgrade for free. It's not costing anything. But it does make sense for them to do things. So that means they can do a lot more games for PC. If they're developing it for Xbox One, it'll automatically be, they're basically doing it for Windows 10 at the same time. So that's a good thing, I think. Then they showed American Truck Simulator. I have the Euro Truck Simulator, and having driven all over a lot of Europe when I was in Germany, and drove a lot of miles in an extended wheelbase 5-ton in tracked vehicles. I mean, I did a lot of driving in Europe. This was that Euro Truck Simulator was a lot of fun because I got to see a lot of the countryside and everything else, and it brought back a lot of memories. Now they're doing American Truck Simulator, and I've driven almost all over the United States. So, yeah, I'm a truck simulator geek kind of a guy. I like those things. So it even started way back within television days. There was, and I'll put a little picture up here for you. There was a title called Truckin' from the 80s for Intellivision, and I'll put that up there for you so you can check that out and see what it looked like. The next thing on the list was Eve Valkyrie, and that is the title by the same company that does Eve Online, the MMO. That is, they're doing that specifically for use with Oculus Rift virtual reality, and they showed some gameplay, stuff. Of course, we can't experience it, in 3D, but they showed it's basically just going to be a space combat blaster game. I mean, it's just going to be full combat all the time. And they asked the developer. They said, is there going to be any tie-in with EVE Online? Is there going to be any use of some of the same features and blah blah? And he said, no, this is going to be strictly a space combat sim. So I can't really, until I get an Oculus Rift or something like that, I can't really, give my full opinion on it. But I have high hopes. Next thing, and this was a biggie for me, Pillars of Eternity, the first expansion, The White March, Part 1. The White March Part 1 is going to be coming out, and I have put a lot of hours into the Pillars of Eternity. I think it's a fantastic game. I love the fact that when they decided to do a throwback kind of like to the Baldur's Gate type games and all that, they went, and I've said this before, they went with allowing you 6 party members, whereas most other RPGs now, you get 4. And I know it's probably a lot harder to have a party of 6, but to me, it gives me the ability to create a more balanced group and more realistic, as if I was back in the medieval days and I was going adventuring, I would want a good balance of different classes of people that had different skills to help. So what they showed for the White March just promises more of the same. It looks fantastic. If it's anything like the original, the base game, I'm in. Next thing, Guild Wars. Their big announcement was that they have an expansion coming out, and they showed off their Guild Hall feature, which a lot of people were saying in the chat, oh, it's garrisons like World of Warcraft. Well, the difference with garrisons is for your character. Guild halls, this is more reminiscent of EverQuest 2 guild halls, because your entire guild can help contribute to everything. So I've never played Guild Wars 2, I should say, and so I don't really know what to say other than it looked like there was an awful lot of features for people that wanted to get into the whole guild hall thing in that game. So if you are a Guild Wars 2 player, it's probably really good news for you. Next thing, the next Hitman sequel. Um, they showed gameplay of that, and it looked really good. I think I played the first 2 Hitmen, or of the Hitman series, and I like them. Just didn't have time to play that and too many other games and everything else, but this one looks good as well. Arma 3 expansion. The first expansion for Arma 3 is they're calling it Tanawa, and I look at it and I pronounce it as Tanoa, but it's basically an island. Sounds like a Pacific island, and they showed the landscapes and the scope of this thing, the size of this thing, and it was freaking amazing. The only thing that when I see that, the first thing I think of is how many video cards is that going to melt? That's what I think. Because if you are trying to run at max settings, and when you see the landscapes and the distance that they're drawing in that game, that they're rendering, that's ridiculous. So you may want to go check out if you play Arma 3 or any of the Arma series, you may want to go check that out. And I'm guessing that when the system requirements come out for that, it's going to say you need to have a beefy video card. I mean, a serious. And I have a pretty good card, but even with I would think it'd be time for me to upgrade before I tried running that at max settings. But you can check it out for yourself and tell me what you think. Next thing, there was a game called Dirty Bomb, and it looks like it is a kind of a Team Fortress 2 team-based, squad-based 5 versus 5 combat thing, and it's probably going to be a good game, but they pissed me off right off from the start because the opening sequence shows a U.S. Army soldier in his Kevlar and the whole bit and everything else, and they start out by saying this is one of the, U.S. Army's finest or something like that, and then they go on to say, or as we call them, scrubs, and he smacks the soldier upside the head, and I know it's just a video game. I know I should have thicker skin, but as an old soldier, it came off very disrespectful. It could have been done a thousand different ways than that, and that just kind of pissed me off. So it'll probably be a good game. You can check it out if you're interested. I may down the road. It would take a lot for me to get past that. It just pissed me off. So, call me whatever you want. The next thing, the makers of Gone Home. It was a little game that I really enjoyed. I actually did a review for Steam. I did a video on it, and it was it all took place in this house, and it was first person's perspective. It was a lot of puzzles that you had to solve and things like that. And they're working on a new game called Tacoma, and it looks kind of similar, but wherever this takes place, it's a zero gravity environment. So in addition to exploring like first person, you have the zero gravity element. So that looks pretty interesting too. The next thing was a game called Soma, S-O-M-A, and that was made. It's being made by the people that made Amnesia: The Dark Descent. And anybody that played Amnesia, the first one, knows that was a damn good horror game. It scared the crap out of me, scared the crap out of a lot of people, and I'm not even a big horror game guy, but I really enjoyed that one. So this Soma, they showed some of that, and it looks just as good as Amnesia. Of course, better graphics because more time's gone by and everything else like that. And then the last thing that they showed was a game called Take on Mars. And it's actually on Steam as an early access game. I hadn't heard about it till I saw this. And basically, it's going to be a world-building game that takes place on Mars. And it looks like it's all first-person perspective. It looks ultra-realistic. It looks like you're going to have to dig in the red dirt. You're going to have to build stuff. You're going to have to... And that's right up my alley. I am fascinated with that idea of that. because we've had other world-building games, Civ games, and we've had SimCity, and we've had all these other. But the fact to be able to, from scratch, colonize and start building stuff on the Red Planet, that looks really freaking cool. And it's actually on sale. It's on the Steam sale right now. It's on sale for like $12 or whatever. So as much as I don't like early access games, I might bite the bullet and actually spend the $12 and get that. I'm itching to try that out. So those are the highlights of everything that I saw yesterday. I know it's a lot of stuff, but there you got it. You got all my opinions. Feel free to tell me below what you think of all these games that are being promised and are upcoming and all that. And until next time, we'll catch you guys on the flip side.